Awesome, guys. All right, so here we are, week 2 or session 2 of the SOP. The SOP, if you have not been with us in the first section, the SOP is the standard operating procedure. My mission over a 13-week period is to help you develop a standard operating procedure for your business. And some of you are going to incorporate that and you're going to use it in your life as well. So I'm super excited to pass this information on to you guys. It's free. It's exciting. I'm not here to sell you a damn thing. I just want you guys to really succeed. And if we work together in the future, that'd be amazing. If you come out to any of our conferences, that'd be a beautiful thing. It'd be awesome to see you guys in person, live, and super excited, right? But more than anything, I want to see you guys like a couple years from now at some conference that we're in and we bump into each other and you look at me, you go, yo, Dave, I put that thing to work and my business is running on fire. That's what gets my heart going. That's what gets my fire lit, okay? So super excited to work with you on this. So last week, we talked about developing our why. For those of you that are here this week and were not active last week, as long as you're registered on the Eventbrite, as long as you've registered on the Eventbrite, we'll know to send you the links. So at the end of this, we're going to be able to send you not only last week's link, but we'll send you this week's link as well, or the recorded link, okay? And it's specifically to you guys who have already registered and you're already jumping in, all right? Now, this is when we talk a little bit about last week. So last week we were challenged. We were challenged to understand and create our why. I told you what mine was, so that's why I wore this cool t-shirt, right? And I told you, I wake up every day, I put my feet on the ground and I clap twice and I go, it's Freedom Day. That's my method. That's my thing. That's what I do, right? So do me a favor, go in the chat group right there and write, it's Freedom Day. I want to see it. I'm gonna wait. Right in the chat group is Freedom Day. I want you guys to feel it. Yes, 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 yes. Bring it on, y'all. It's Freedom Day, baby. Now, all of you know, I'm just trying to help you guys develop your own freedom, right? Okay, it's Freedom Day, baby. All right. So now, last week we talked about our why. Who here, and I said it, I need participation because that's the only way this is going to work. Who here is willing to share what they believe their why is at this very moment right now? Yep, just unmute yourself and rock it out.
I'll go. My why is giving back to my community via real estate and becoming a community expert here in my chosen home.
Okay, I'm going to challenge you on that, right? Because I like where you're going with that, and it's a great start, all right? So I'm going to challenge you on that because you said two very interesting things that are super awesome. You said you want to give back to your community through real estate, right? And you want to become the subject matter expert in your community. I love that. I love both things. I would challenge you to write those things down and then ask yourself why that's important to you. I would ask you to dig deeper into that because there's definitely something way deeper than that, because I promise you, Riley doesn't wake up every morning and take her first official woken breath to learn real estate and become a subject matter. Right, right. So it gets significantly deeper than that. So I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to challenge you on that. And we'll come back to it because as I told many of you that were here last week, your why is going to shift. It's going to adjust even throughout the training by itself, because we'll be talking about so many different things. Thank you, Riley. I appreciate you. Who else wants to share their why? I think Roger was coming in. Roger.
Yeah, mine's a little bit different. I tried to go into real estate years and years ago on a part-time basis and didn't make it because I got an ultimatum from my employer. So I said I would come back to this. So when I got tired of technology, which was during the pandemic, I retired took an early retirement and said, I want to go back in and do what I wanted to do before, was help people in real estate. So my why is to supplement my passive income with money from real estate so I can have my freedom.
Oh, that's awesome. See, and if you guys pay attention to what Roger did there, he didn't say his why was to make money. He said his why, money was the tool to have his freedom, to supplement the current retirement and income that he has so that he can find what he desires, what he wants to do, what his freedoms are. Roger, I love it, man. Thank you. Anybody else want to jump in?
Yeah, I'll say something. So like just from what you said to me before, which is if you help enough people, Jeff, it'll come around. So that dovetails nicely into what brings me to my thing. My great grandparents came over here from Ireland. They all came over from Ireland, and my great grandfathers died early because they're laborers, of course. And all my great grandmothers, and you have to understand, it's going to sound weird when I say this, they died in other people's houses. And I didn't understand what that meant. And my grandmother said they were servants. So they worked literally until they died. And so it wasn't the American dream. They didn't die owning anything. They didn't die. They died literally in somebody else's house, working on their hands and knees probably until the day they died. So what I want to do is build generational wealth, of course, for my family, but for other people, because when they died, they didn't pass on anything. And we know as Americans, one of the things that you pass on is your house. And that helps the next generation get on their feet. It helps the next generation, whether it be the grandkids or the kids. And that's what I want to do for other people. And if I do that for enough other people, it'll happen for my kids and my grandkids.
Man, that's beautiful. And I think this is and first of all, I appreciate you sharing that, because I know it's a very emotional why. And I know that understanding the concept of building the American dream and understanding that your ancestors came here to create the American dream and they never hit that mark, and that's your entire focus because you're trying to leave a legacy for what's to come. And that's beautiful, man. I appreciate that. All right, anybody else want to share? We got maybe one more before we jump into today's stuff. Anybody? All right. So we're going to move on to the next stuff. First of all, thank you for those who participated. By the way, every single week, I'm going to ask for participation. You're going to find that the more you participate, the more you educate yourself, right? So there's no better education than educating, right? So when you come inside here and you take this moment and you absorb with everybody and you share with everybody, by the way, because listen, man, I'm not a believer in having a why and keeping it to yourself, which is why when Jeff and I spoke about this earlier this week, I said, Jeff, man, you got to share that on Thursday, dude. You have to. You got to share it on Thursday because I don't believe in it. I really don't. I don't believe in hiding it, right? Because if you hide it, right, there's some people will say, oh, don't tell people what you're doing, move in silence, this and that. Man, can't nobody hurt me. There's always going to be haters out there. There's always going to be people that don't wish you well. Okay. Ain't nobody going to hurt me. You know, I'm going to take it back to childhood. Sticks and stones break my bones, right? Words will never hurt me. I can make you laugh all day with this, man. But ladies and gentlemen, man, I scream it out to the world. I want the entire universe to hear me. Okay. And that's going to be a little bit about what we talk about today. And in today's exercise, we're going to be talking about our 5-3-1s. We're going to be talking about developing your 5-year plan, your 3-year plan, and your 1-year plan. And the reason that we do it in that direction is because we want to go from lofty and big and then dial it down to the simple things we need to do on a daily basis to be able to get to that lofty goal 5 years from now, right? And so when we talk about this, I think about a few things, and I took some notes here. Nelson Mandela said, there is no passion to be found in playing small and settling for a life less than you are capable of living. All right. I'm going to say that again for you guys, because I really want you to hear this, because it's crazy important for the next exercise that we're going to do, because your 5-year plan, you could play it safe, you could play it small, but you know for a fact it's not going to be the life worth living. Okay, I'm gonna say it again. There is no passion to be found in playing small and settling for a life less than you are capable of living. Now, I'm gonna say something else. When we develop this 5-year plan, this 3-year plan, this 1-year plan, we're writing all our goals down and we're super excited and everything. I want you to dream big. Okay. I want you to dream big. And actually, we're going to do a little exercise where you got to close your eyes. So I hope nobody's driving right now. You guys got to pull over. You got to pay attention. All right. But we're going to do a little close your eyes exercise, right, in a few minutes. But before we do that, I want to warn you and I want to tell you, you will have hiccups over the next 5 years. Life happens. Okay. You will have hiccups. You have to take chances in life. And you have to live facing forward. And I want to say this out loud because, listen, I'm victim to it. I'm human. I know everybody here is victim to it. You guys are human, right? Something happens in your life that just shifts the entire path of the universe for you. And you spend like, I don't know how long. Some people never escape it, by the way. You might spend a week, you might spend a month, you might spend a year, 2 years, or you just never escape it. But the rest of the people live like this. Looking back at what happened and living in that misery. I know people like this. I know people that are still upset about something that happened 20 years ago and they live in that misery. You don't want to live in that misery. So when we work on these goals, understand that at some point in the next 5 years, something in life, someone, something, some life event, some bill, some creditor, something's going to come and try to derail you from your plan. And it's not a failure. If it doesn't work, it's not a failure. You notice I never use the word failure. You'll never hear it unless I'm telling you that I'm never going to use it, right? I don't use the word failure. I don't believe in it. The only way that somebody can fail is if you quit. And nobody's in this session to quit, right? I don't think anybody came to this and committed to 13 weeks, 1 hour a week to quit at some point and say, you know, freak it, I'm not going to do this anymore, right? I quit. I don't care anymore. I don't want to do this anymore. Let me just stop breathing. That's a failure. But if something happens in your life, your business shuts down, the market shifts, you know, you lost all your buyers, your CRM fell apart, blew up, and the company went out of business. Now you have none of your contacts. I mean, there's a million things that can happen. A loved one passes, right? Or positivity, a loved one is born. That's also a shift, right? Think about that for a minute, you know? So there's all kinds of life things that can happen. Don't spend your time looking back, always face forward. If you fall forward. You see what you're about to hit. You see what's about to happen and you continue fighting forward. Next thing I'm gonna say is when we're working on today's exercise, don't be afraid, okay? Fear is false advertisement, okay? Do not be afraid to write down some crazy lofty goals. Do not compare your insides to other people's outsides during this operation, during this mission that we're going to go on today, right? During this homework you're going to have for the next week. Because if you compare what you've got going on inside to what you see somebody's outside, you have a false comparison. Because just because you look at somebody's outside and you go, wow, that guy super successful. Look what she drives. Look what he drives. Look where they live. You have no idea what they got going on inside. So you can't compare your inside to what's going on their outside. You can't do it. And even if you were best friends with them and you think you knew everything about them, you still can't do it. The only person you can compare yourself to is you. The better you is tomorrow, the worse you was yesterday. The you now is a work in progress, guys. The you now is a work in progress, and it is a beautiful thing, all right? Now, I say that all because I don't want you to be afraid to write goals that might scare you. Say that out loud, right? Goals that scare you, or write goals down that you think for a moment that somebody else is going to say, you can't do that, right? You write a goal down and everything in your body says, shoot, if I said this to somebody, they would laugh me right out the room. So what? That's your goal. Tammy, that's your goal. Nancy, that's your goal. Richie, your goal, right? That's what you're supposed to be aiming for, not them. The them are going to hold you back if you consider them to judge your goal and your forward movement. We don't want that. Okay. You guys have all heard this before. Dreams without goals are just dreams. Goals without a plan is just a goal. A plan without action is just a plan, right? You have to take action in the training that you're receiving right now. This little training we got going, this coaching session, this all this stuff, understanding your why. Today's 531, right? We're going to get super deep into it. And what I will say to you is, if you can finish this 13 weeks, and you could actually be here every single week on time, listen to the whole thing, be super vested, watch the recording again later, which I highly suggest to everybody, right? Because you're not going to pick it all up right now all the time, right? But you could choose to not do the homework, right? You could choose to not do the exercises. You could choose to do all the exercises and then never do anything with it. You could create your entire SOP and have your whole SOP booklet ready to go and never use it again. So what I would say to you is to keep in mind that this is something that you're going to have to take action on, that you're going to have to put, okay? Some of you, if not all of you, are still in your cocoon, and you have yet to shock the world with your greatness. I want that to settle in your head. If you believe it, shake your head. If you believe it, put it in the chat. Put in the chat, say, I have so much more to prove to the world. I have so much more to prove to the world, right? And when you say prove to the world, not to the people in the world, but to you and the universe. When you talk about the people, we talk about the planet, right? So some of you are just, you got to focus on you. Remember, I told you when you're developing your why, it's okay to be selfish about it. Okay. It's okay to be selfish about it. And it's okay to focus on you. All right. So now with all of that being said, and I hope this like motivated you to just kind of clear the nonsense out of your head, take the life blockers and the growth blockers out of your head. Get mom's words out of your head. Some of y'all's worst enemy is mom. Trust me, I know, right? So like, you know, and you know, people that you love to death, but you ain't trying to include them in your business because, you know, they might not agree, right? And that's okay. So I'm gonna share the screen with you guys. All right, so on the screen right here, what you're seeing is an exercise sheet. On this exercise sheet, you're going to see a few things. Number one is you're going to see your 531. You're going to see, it says add your goals, right? So I'll read this to you guys because I think it's super critical. Typically, I don't read stuff that I'm putting on the screen, but it says add as many goals as you want, make them real, make them tangible, but make them yours, right? Think about yourself, your business, your family, your environment, your home, your car, your office, vacations, investments, your life. Think about all that stuff, right? And all of this and so much more should be listed in this worksheet. Give yourself time to work on this exercise, even if you got to put it down and come back to it later, but give yourself time to work on this exercise because this exercise right here is extremely critical to what comes next. Okay, because we're going to, in this 13 weeks, we're going to business plan, we're going to write finances, we're going to figure out all kinds of great stuff. And so this right here is going to set the precedence for what is to come. This right here is going to set the precedence for what is to come. Okay. So now let's talk about the 5-year goal. So if some of y'all are driving, I'm going to ask that you're going to pull over and I'm going to ask all of you to take a second, right? Indulge me. More than that, indulge yourself. I want you to close your eyes and I'm going to walk you through this. Okay. I want you to close your eyes for a minute. I want you to erase all the noise around you. I want you to delete all the negativity in your heart right now, delete all the negativity in your head right now. And I want you to think to yourself what your life looks like 5 years from now. Now, this is not an easy task. All right. For a lot of folks, this is not a very easy task, but it is something that is so critical. So where do you see yourself? Do you see yourself on a beach? Do you see yourself in another state? Do you see yourself in a bigger house or a smaller house? Do you see yourself with people? Do you see yourself with children, maybe without children? Are your kids in university? Are your kids following your footsteps and becoming a successful entrepreneur like you? What does success look like to you, and where are you taking it? What are you trying to do with it? How much money do you have in the bank? Let's have some more fun with it, right? How much money do you have in the bank? How many investment properties do you own? How many businesses are you involved in? What kind of car do you drive? By the way, it's okay to say Bentley and Rolls Royce. It's also okay to say Jeep Wrangler, Ford F-150. It's also okay to say Tesla or Nissan Leaf. None of that matters to anybody else, but for a moment, for yourself, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where's your family? Where's your loved ones? How have you made an impact on the world? How did you shift the planet? How did you contribute to society? How did you contribute to yourself? I'm gonna let y'all sit on that for about a minute. Now ask yourself one more question or two more questions. Are you willing to forsake all for what you're dreaming of right now? Second question, are you willing to put in the work necessary to make it happen? All right, guys, jump back in with me and participate. Who would be open to sharing just one thing from their 5-year plan? Just one thing. Give me one thing. Where do you see yourself in 5 years? You share yours, I'll share mine.
More investment properties.
What was that?
More investment properties, more passive.
More investment properties. How many more? Give me a number.
I'm going to have to say, I would love to have five.
About 5 more investment properties. That's beautiful. I think when we say things like that, that's why I say, how much money do you have in the bank, and not do you have money in the bank? Because I think it's important to be very specific. I got this joke I always tell people on stage, and I say, when I was younger, I spoke to the universe. I spoke to God. I said, God, I just want to be surrounded by beautiful women my entire life. And in my brain, I was thinking boats and mansions and money and all kinds of stuff. So God gave me 4 daughters and a beautiful wife. I wasn't specific, but he knew what was right for me. See what I'm saying? All right. Who else would love to share? Just one thing, guys, one thing.
David, doing what you're doing, being an educator and helping other people out.
That's awesome, Ben. And when you write down this 5-year goal and being an educator, I want you to get super specific on it. And I want you to talk about what you would actually be educating on and what platforms you would be on. Okay. I want you to do that. Who else? Yanetta, you were going to say something?
Yes, I guess I'm seeing myself with my children proud, excited to follow in my footsteps, and I'm able to pick them up, and they're looking forward to the same goals in life of becoming better, and that's my main goal.
Setting an example.
Yeah, for them to build their legacy after me, have direction,
I love that. I love that. So when you write that down, right, I want you to get even more specific on that, because to say that you want to build a legacy for your children so that they can follow in your footsteps and create their own legacy is a beautiful thing. But to be specific about what your legacy will be is even more gorgeous. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Right. So to be specific about your legacy, to be really deep into it, to understand what it is in 5 years, you will be able to look at your children and say, this is the legacy I am leaving you. This is the legacy I'm leaving you, the world, the planet, everything. That is what I want you to really put on that paper. Anybody else? Will have time for one more person.
I see myself in the Naples area, relocated, nice Tesla in the front, Shiba Inu dog, house being paid off, and having a passive income.
I love it, Carlos. Carlos, where you at now?
Miami.
Miami. So
Kendall.
Carlos is going Miami to Naples. It's got the Tesla outside. It's plugged
Boat
in.
in the backyard.
Boat in the backyard. I love it, dude. This is great. I love it. See how specific he's getting? And Carlos, when you write this down, don't write boat in the backyard. Say boat in the water, on the dock, in my property, in the back of the house. Right?
Nice.
You got to be specific,
Yep.
because I know a lot of my friends that got their boat on a trailer in the backyard.
Yeah.
Right? It's true. It's true.
I want mine in the water in the backyard. That's right.
There
Yeah.
you go. When they want to go out on the boat, they got to hitch the boat to the truck. They got to stand. They got to get on that long line over there at the city pier, right? And then they got to drop the boat in, and then they end up on Only in Dade on Instagram because their truck fell in the water, right? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You want to have that boat you want to be so specific about that, man. You want to be so specific about that. I shared you guys, so I'll share with you, right? I've shared with you guys. I know that I'm living in Puerto Rico in 5 years. It's a guarantee. I promise you, right? It's a guarantee. I know it. And I'm living in Puerto Rico because my income is so great that I need to go over there to save on some taxes, right? Me and Uncle Sam, we made an agreement. I moved to Puerto Rico, I pay less taxes. You see what I'm doing here? But I'm not going to specifically stop there. Let me tell you about my house. See, I'm gonna walk in my front door. By the way, my house is not going to be a mansion by any means, and my car is not going to be a Bentley or Rolls by any means. I'm going to have a Jeep, okay, Jeep Wrangler, because it's Puerto Rico, yo. I want to go to a Yunque in my Jeep. I want to hang out. I want to live life. I want to do all that great stuff, right? But when I open my front door and I look into my house, I'm going to look through several rooms, could be the living room or whatever it is. I'm talking 3 bedrooms, 2.5 bathrooms, 1,700 square feet, nothing out of this world. But here's where the most important part is. The most important part is that when I look past my living room, there will be some sliding doors. Everybody got sliding doors that go out to their balcony or their backyard, right? That's what I'm talking about. There could be some sliding doors. And through those sliding doors, I'm going to see a pool. And past that pool, I'm going to see sand. And past that sand, I'm going to see the ocean. And I could get so specific about the colors, the white floors, the blue couches, the art on the walls. I could get specific about what part of the beach it is. Because I know that if you live on the east side of Puerto Rico, the waters are calmer. And if you live on the west side of Puerto Rico, you could be a surfer, right? I'm being specific about exactly where I want to be. I'm drinking Bustelo, sitting on the beach early in the morning, living my life. You guys feel me? You hear what I'm saying here, right? If you agree with me, go in the chat, type it's Freedom Day. Do it. If you agree with me, go in the chat, type it's Freedom Day, because I promise you right now, this is your opportunity. This is your beautiful moment to think about where you want to be in 5 years. And you get to be super specific about it. You get to be real with yourself. So we're going to take these huge, lofty 5-year goals, okay? And we're going to write them down. And on this worksheet that you see in front of you, which, by the way, every single one of you that's registered are going to get a copy of this. We're going to send you a link so you can download your own copy, okay? So you're going to be able to print this out and work on it. Now, notice I said something extremely old school. I said print it out, right? And work on it, because many of you could just save it as a PDF and then type onto it. But here's the thing. There is a massive amount of euphoria when writing something down that happens in your brain, and it sticks. When you type something out, it's simply not the same. It's proven, it's scientific. Try it for yourself. Okay? Try it for yourself. And then when you finish writing it out, I would challenge you to scan it, save it somewhere, take it and pin it on a wall by your desk or in your bathroom, right above the mirror where you brush your teeth every morning so you can't ignore it, in front of the toilet if you spend a lot of time there, wherever you're going to see it, right? Wherever you're going to see it, so that you can remind yourself on a daily basis. Now, we take these 5-year goals and you'll notice that the sheet is split in personal and business. And I did this specifically because I wanted you guys to have an opportunity. My 5-year plan that I just shared with you, that little piece right there, that's a personal thing, right? That's a personal thing for me. But the business plan is what's going to feed that opportunity for me. Okay, the business plan is what's going to feed that opportunity for me. So this is what we're going to do. We take those lofty goals and we start to write down in a 3-year plan or 3-year goals. We start to write down, if this is my big goal, right? So say Roger said he wanted 5 more investment properties in 5 years. Then how many does Roger have in 2 years or 3 years? I'm sorry. How many does he have in 3 years? Right? And he starts writing those down. And then when he writes down his 3 years, how many properties he has, he gets massively specific on how he got those properties. How did he get those properties? How did he take those properties and make them his? Where did he get the money from? What type of investment loans did he get? Did he get investment loans or did he house hack? Does he have great tenants? Are they paying rents? What's his return on investment? What's his cap rate? Right? All of these things are important because to say, I want to have 10 investment properties, right? Which is another one in my 5-year plan, by the way, I'll share with you guys. I got no problem sharing with you guys. 10 investment properties, but I get massively specific because I've learned my lesson with the, the wife and the 4 daughters, right? I've learned my lesson. So I got to get massively specific. And I got to say, I'm going to have those 10 properties and each property is going to yield me a minimum of $800 a month. Yield me, which means profit, which means my mortgage is small enough, my taxes are right, my insurance is right to where the tenant and the property are yielding me $800 a month, right? It's 5 years from now. Maybe when I buy it right now, it's only yielding me $300, but over time I'm paying it down and rents are going up and things get better. Do you see where I'm going with this, right? And now I've got this, and if I've got 10 properties yielding me $800 a month, then what's my number? That's $8,000, right? That's $8,000 a month in residual profit from investment property. So I get detailed with it now. In 3 years, how many of those do I have and how did I get them? Right? Yannetti talked about leaving a legacy. Well, what we got super specific, or you will get super specific on what that legacy is 5 years from now, but what is it 3 years from now? And how are you achieving that? And then we're going to dial it down even more, and we're going to get to the 1-year goal. Now, the 1 year, once you do this, think about this for a moment. You got big lofty goals 5 years from now. In 3 years, you know where you need to be at the halfway point. What do I need to do now to position myself 1 year from now to be on path for what's going to happen on year 3? Where am I next year? Right? So for me, I'm sitting here and I'm doing this with you guys, and I've got a screen full of people, and it's a beautiful thing. And I'm dying to take a video of this because I think it should happen, right? Woo! Love you guys. I appreciate you. But you know where I see myself a year from now? You ever seen those huge walls that got Zoom on everything? You know what I'm talking about? I need to have to go rent one of those studios because 5,000 people have registered for my conversation, my speech, my class, my coaching session, whatever it is. That's a beautiful thing for me. That's amazing, right? You know, I want to step in front of those screens and I want to interact with thousands of people all over the world. That's my dream. A year from now, I want to be on stages on different continents. And I work my path there. So you know where you need to be exactly 1 year from now. You know where you need to be. You got your 5-year lofty goal. You got your 3-year goal. 1 year from now, where are you? What are you doing? Right? How much money do you have? What car are you driving a year from now? Are you sacrificing now to have later? See, because that's another thing. People are afraid to sacrifice because we oftentimes get caught up in the hype. We oftentimes find ourselves comparing our insides to other people's outsides. We get caught up on the hype. So-and-so drives this, so I got to drive this. Or here's the biggest myth in the planet. If I want to sell a lot of properties, I got to drive this. Right? I always joke about real estate agents in Miami. I can only talk about Miami because that's where I'm at. But I always joke how real estate agents will close their first deal by a Gucci belt and a Mercedes C-Class right away, first deal. Right? Guys, are you willing to sacrifice now to build and develop later? Are you willing to put the work in? Are you willing to forsake yourself? Put yourself feet to the fire to make it happen. So where are you a year from now? Now this gets even deeper, right? Because it talks about your why. So remember, I told you, your why is evolving, and it's going to evolve with us. It's going to evolve with us in this group here, right? And so when you look at this and it says, looking at the above goals you have set for yourself, ask yourself the following question. Why? Why do you want to accomplish these goals? Why do you want to achieve these goals? What is the purpose behind it all? What is the personality trying, or what are you personally trying to achieve? What is your why, right? Now, your why, honest to God, you could write your 5-year, your 3-year, your 1 year, and your why could not change at all. Or it very well might change. Because you'll look at everything you have set for yourself over the next 5 years, and you'll say, holy smokes, I got to get deeper on this. I need to better understand this. So that's why we put this exercise after the first exercise, right? I know most of you, you already did your why. You already figured that out. That's great. But it is forever evolving. Okay, it is forever evolving. And sometimes, look, this is my why right now, but later it might change, right? It might change. Because things change, because life happens. We talk about that, right? Now, these next exercises are to prepare you for the future and what's to come in our 13-week exercise, right? So this is week 2, obviously, but we're going to talk about avatars at some point in this exercise, right? And so I want you to really think about this, because as you're putting all of this together and you're thinking about where I'm at in 5, where I'm at 3, where I'm at in 1, you start to think about the business that you have to develop to achieve these things. And you start thinking about the people that you need to interact with to achieve these things. And then you start understanding who your avatar is. Now, let me explain your avatar. Your avatar is the person that you want to work with, right? Now, oftentimes the avatar is very much built and developed similar to who we are as a person. Right? I'm very direct. I'm very hype. I'm very in your face. I'm not everybody's cup of tea. I get that. I understand that. For the 5,000 people that are going to be on my Zoom hall, there's going to be 5,000 people that think I'm not worthy. And that's okay. Right? So who is your avatar? Who are you going to be with? So I'll read this to you. Describe your avatar. Okay? Who in this world is going to be the people that contribute to the business that you are building to contribute to develop to reaching your goals? Who are they? Where are they from? What age group? What background? What lifestyle? What do they do for career? Are they first-time home buyers if you're a real estate agent? Are they veterans? Are they athletes? Are they astronauts, right? Do they own the metaverse? Like, who is it? You know, are they coin developers? Are they, I don't know, code writers? Like, there's so much craziness going on in the world right now with cryptocurrency and metaverses and NFTs and everything else. And it's all great stuff. It's all shifts. It's all world shifts. So who's your avatar and who you're going to work with? And then the last exercise is a, like, we can call it like a come to Jesus moment, right? This is self-evaluation. Now that you have your goals, you understand the reason why you're set these goals. You know who you're going to work with. Here's an opportunity for you to self-reflect. Be the real you. Who are you? Evaluate yourself. Name the things that make you ready right now. Name the things that you still have to work on to accomplish these goals. Name the things that make you ready right now. What is in your heart, in your physical body, in your brain, what abilities you have right now that makes you ready to set forth for these goals? And then what are some of the things that you absolutely need to work on to achieve these goals? because the self-evaluation is critical and it's important. You have to know you, be the real you, right? I could be here in a suit with a tie, my hair comb, trying to, feel like I need to impress you, but no, I'm being me. I'm in a t-shirt, I'm in a ball cap. It's very rare you see me without a hat. I don't even know why I have hair. Okay. And I only got like 4 left, so don't mess with me. All right. But point is, this is me all the time. Be you. Who are you? Figure that out. Sit with that for a moment. Now, guys, these exercises are very powerful exercises, and they're going to lead to a massive business plan and a massive plan for your business and your personal life that you're going to put in place, that you're going to develop, that you're going to create, that's going to set the tone for your success in this business, whatever business it is. Some of you are realtors, some of you are lenders, some of you are title, some of you are not even in the real estate industry, and you're sitting here because you want to take your business to the next level. That's okay. That's freaking awesome. Okay. So I want to open up the floor for like a few minutes, 5 minutes, whatever. We're at minute 46. I want to be respectful of your time. I want to open up the floor and see who might have questions or concerns or anything else on these exercises and things that we're working on, so that I can help address them. And trust me, there's no, like, whatever question you have, I want to hear it, because chances are somebody else in the group has the same question. Anybody? Just unmute yourself if you have a question.
Hey, David. Hi. How you doing? Hey,
Good.
send us.
Who's this?
It's Debbie Allen.
Hey, Debbie.
I met you at EXPCon. You're sitting next to me at our appetizer day.
100%. I remember.
Yeah, there we go. Cool. So I didn't know you were who you were. We talked about motorcycles. Anyway,
Yes.
I'm enjoying your training. I'm going to be here every week. My question is, where's the link? I want to print it out.
Where's the what?
The link to the booklet. I want to print it out.
Oh, I'll get it to you. So we're going to get it out to everybody.
All
We're going to
right.
get it out to everybody. You registered on the Eventbrite?
Yes.
All right. So as soon as if you're registered on the Eventbrite, we're going to get it out to everybody today, along with today's recording.
Nice. Thank you. Look forward to it.
Absolutely. Anybody else have a question?
Yeah, Harriet Sakuda here. When developing your avatar, what do you do not to limit yourself? What is it that you can avoid and not to limit yourself because you're trying to stay within a certain avatar?
That's a really great question. I don't really think that there's a limitation here, because what happens is when you're developing your avatar, you're developing the type of person that you want to work with. It doesn't mean that you're shying away from everybody else. It just simply means that all the marketing, all the content, all your business plan, and everything that you put into effect is really going to focus on that particular type of avatar, right? So let's say my avatar is you, real estate professionals, right? Because my avatar is people who want to develop and grow in their real estate businesses. And I've created that into a niche. Many people have told me, get out of the niche. You could do so many more other businesses. But currently, right now, my avatar is you, right? Now, when I was selling more real estate, my avatar was veterans, because I am a veteran. And because we speak the same language, I have a great ability to be able to communicate with them and help them understand things that were never taught to them in the military. Because when you get out of the military, nobody sits down with you and says, hey, this is the benefit of the VA loan, and this is how you can become wealthy over time by using it. No one's going to do that with you in the military. They're going to say, this is how you shoot straight, and this is how you kill. Right. And so I wanted to take people that were out of the military, veterans, and even military, active duty military personnel. And I wanted to show them how they could use a VA loan to protect themselves, protect their homes, protect their family, develop wealth over time. Right. And so that was my avatar. But does that mean that I only focused on the military? And if somebody came to me that was not military, I won't work on? Absolutely not. It just meant that that was my main focus. So the majority of the content that went out about selling real estate was focused around the military world. Does that make sense to you?
Yes, it does. It clarifies it. Thank you.
Perfect. And look, I've got people that I have coached that their avatars are first-time home buyers, right? I've got folks that I've coached that their avatars are, stock investment and wealth planners, right? I've got folks that only work with doctors. I've coached people that focus on doctors and medical professionals. That is their niche. That is what they do, right? And it's not that if a lawyer came to that person and said, I want to sell my house, they would say no. It just means that they spend the majority of their marketing, their time, their content, their efforts towards focusing on their avatar. All right. Anyone else have any questions or anything before we cut off? Anybody? Wide open for you guys.
I just want to thank you again, Dave. I just want to thank you again, Dave, for doing this and not charging us and everything else in your time. I really want to say on behalf of all of us, thank you.
I appreciate that, Jeff. Really do. I mean, I'm super excited, man. I feel, I mean, you have no idea. I have a method. I run into this room. I got a tiny room, guys. This is my office is small right here. There's 4 desks in it. And I run circles around this room. Okay. I look like a crazy lab rat. All right. And I do push-ups and I get pumped up to be able to get with you guys because I feel like, man, what a great opportunity for us. First of all, to connect and develop relationships. Everyone inside this group, by the way, will get to know each other. So I also feel like I'm creating an opportunity for all of you to be referral partners and such, so it's going to be a beautiful thing. We are going to send everybody an invite to the Facebook group that we have. And we're also going to probably create a WhatsApp group, but I haven't completely decided on that yet because some people, they feel like they're going to go crazy with all the texting back and forth. But I think with the Facebook group, there'll be a ton of opportunity for us. And it'd be a great opportunity for folks to jump in and ask questions and such. So we'll get that link out to you guys as well.
Hi, David. It's May Reed.
Hey, May.
Thanks. Thank you for this great training. And my question is, if you have different businesses, do you do multiple avatar?
Yes, absolutely. Each business has to have its own avatar, right? Now, that may not always be true, right? You might own, let's say, a real estate company and a mortgage company and a marketing company, and you might, all 3 avatars might work on the same type of avatar, and that's okay. That's not a problem, right? But if one business is so far off from the other one, you do want to focus on who the avatar for that particular business is, who's going to want to work with you and help support that business. So it's really, I want to say yes, but it's a really your call kind of thing, right? So I have my real estate business. I have, my organizational business. I have my coaching business. Obviously my coaching business focuses on real estate professionals. My real estate business can't focus on real estate professionals because they buy their own houses, right? So that has a completely different avatar, right?
Okay.
My wife is in mortgages. So my real estate business and her mortgage business have similar avatars, except she has 2 types of avatars with her mortgage business, because one avatar is the client, the other avatar is the real estate agent who will refer her clients, right? So she has 2 avatars that she needs to focus on. She has 2 business plans for each one of them.
Okay, thank you so much.
Absolutely, May. Great to see you on here. All right, guys, we're going to start off and be super respectful of your time. It's 11:53. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Next week, same time, same bat channel, okay? We're going to be here again. Feel free to share it with as many people as you want. Like I said, today we had 30 participants. I'm capped out at 100. Force me to buy the upgrade package so we can get up to 500, all right? I love you guys. Be safe out there and enjoy.
Thank you.
Thank you.